Recording 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now that we're going to get started, we're going to be going into londonfoster.net. We're going to be going under Office Manager. And under Office Manager, we're going to go into Contracts and Forms. Here in Contracts and Forms is where we keep all the contracts that will be using. In this instance, we are going to go into a non-lawyer disclosure form. The non-lawyer disclosure form is a very simple form that states two things. One, that you are not an attorney, that you are a licensed realtor. It asks you to insert your name 5 times. You must have whoever is your client, whether it be the landlord or the tenant, whether it is the seller or the buyer, signed below. Also, a very important part is that it actually tells whoever is signing to reiterate the fact that they can read in English or that they cannot read in English. It's meant to be not only a disclosure, but a reminder to your client that it is important that if they are not understanding a contract, they must seek counsel of an attorney in order for them to do this right. So it's very simple. You would go in here and you would write in your name. And copy and paste this every time. You would want your client to place an X next to the fact that they can read. And if they cannot read, you would want them to put it here. And you would want them to put the language in which they speak. Okay. Again, this must be signed by the realtor, which is a licensee, and either the landlord or the tenant or the seller or the buyer, whoever it is that you just want to reiterate to. Let me show you really quick where you're going to be finding this in Form Simplicity. So we're going to open up Form Simplicity. And if you're a London Foster agent, you're going to go into Library. And you can either search for it here and find Forms, the word lawyer. It'll be right there. Or under Packages, you're going to open up a package. And once you've created it, you can go back into it, into the active files. You will open it up. And you will see that it is not there. So you need to add forms to transaction. And again, you go to find forms. You write the word lawyer. You find it. You click on it. And you add it to the transaction. We will go back into active. Go back into this transaction that we created. And you will see that the non-lawyer disclosure form is there, at which point in time you can open it up. And you'll note how easy it is here. Once you put your name in once, it'll be everywhere. You save it, you close it. Now let's say we wanted to get that e-signed. It's a little bit trickier there, but I'm going to show you real quick. You want to go into e-sign. You want to click, not next that I just did, but create session. And remember, we're just doing, out of all this transaction, we're not doing all the contracts. We're just doing this one disclosure for the sake of showing you. Once this is done, e-sign will vote. It says automatically should open up a tab. If it has not, you click here. Not once has it opened it up for me automatically. So we're going to click on that. And then here, it's going to require for you to put a subject. I would usually write, please sign. And then maybe I would write the client's name so that I know which one it is. And here I would write, hey, Mike. And I've pre-edited this auto signature so that it says, please initial and sign the contract accordingly. You can call me or text me at any time. And then it has my auto signature. I'm going to send it to all the signers at once. I'm going to include myself as a signer because, as I mentioned before, the licensee needs to sign this. I'm going to press next. Here, it's going to ask me to add people to my address book. Okay, so I'm going to use my two personal emails. Obviously, this would be Mike and his wife, but I'm not sending it to anyone. And there I have 3 people. Okay, I click on all 3 people. Here it's going to ask me to assign this to someone. So I'm going to say that this one is Mike, let's say. I'm going to click on the form that I'm sending, just reiterating that, yes, this is the form I want to send. And then here it's going to give me my options. So obviously, since I know that Mike Johnson does speak English, I'm going to only add a checkbox here. But I could also add a checkbox to the no. And I could also write my name here and the language here. But since it is a moot point, and I know that this person is going to sign it correctly, I don't want to give them too many options. It's just reiterating. Because I added 2 signers, it's telling me, oh, you have to let 2 signers sign. So I'm going to put that this next person is going to sign here. And then the third person, the first person is going to sign here. I don't know if it's getting confusing for you guys, but it's very simple. Whoever the buyers are or whoever the tenants are, I want them to sign here. Okay, so I'm going to press next. And now it just takes me to the same form, but now it helps you understand where it's going to show up. You press next. It gives you that email message again, so you can re-edit it. And you press finish. Since I put myself down as a signer, it's asking me to pick a signature. I'm going to go with this one. I agree to the terms. And here again, I'm signing as the licensee or the realtor. And now I just sign. I press start. It takes me to the very first place. I click it. Once that's done, it's gone. And it'll go out to the other 2 people to sign. Hopefully this explains to you a little bit about what this form is. Again, this is available on londonfoster.net under Office Manager, under Contracts and Forms, and this was the non-lawyer disclosure. End recording.